and to Gerda Mischke, who is one of two people here with us from UNISA. And I'm not quite sure how the two of you are going to do that. So I'm just going to leave the floor to you,
That's
and then
fine.
you take
We'll
control
sort
yourself.
ourselves out.
All right,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. Colleagues, thank you so very much for hearing us out. We're from the University of South Africa, and I actually, if this thing could just move, I will show you a picture. It doesn't move, so no, it's just, I think we had it on for too long. I'll talk why he tries to sort that out. Our institution is actually the largest distance education, and I mean like in just distance. We don't have any classes, no direct contact with our students. We register about between 360,000 students per semester, between 360 and 400,000. So we're talking about a massive institution. Not a massive institution, I mean not a massive building, as much as it looks like that. What you see there is a library and offices of faculty. You know, that is no student there. The students actually are all over Africa, and for that matter, all over the world. And up to now, we have been a fairly old-fashioned print-based institution, sending out what we call study guides to students, and then we would have once a semester a get-together session, discussion classes, and the students would come. And then I was given the task in 2011 to try and manage a program to get the institution online, to move towards online learning. And I've just said to somebody while we were eating, I'm more or less 200 years old, and 100 of those years were added by this project, you know. Because please keep in mind that I'm talking about Africa, which means that we do not have bandwidth, and the little that we have is extremely expensive. On top of that, we have millions of disadvantaged students. And I'm sorry to say that UNISA is kind of the institution of last resort. Students still prefer to go to the contact institutions. So when they come to UNISA, it is because they were not, or largely because they were not accepted at the contact institutions. So, you know, this is kind of just institutional talk. What it actually boils down to is that the president of our institution came to me and he said, you know, Gerda, Africa is behind as it is. It is going to fall more and more behind, and our students will never be able to compete internationally unless we move online. And with that, I mean, you know, colleagues, you must sit there and you must not think about doing the nice stuff Donna is talking about. I mean students who do not own computers and who cannot use computers to a large extent. Within this whole environment of poor bandwidth, expensive bandwidth, yet we kind of felt that it has become unethical to award a degree to a student who cannot work in an online environment, because you will be going into a job where you will be forced to do so. So what we've decided is, okay, the signature courses is, you can read that for yourself. You know, we thought that while we're doing it, we may as well do it as well as possible. So we've signed up with different institutions in America to tell us, please, you know, you have learned all the lessons. We're doing the same with Donna at the moment with MOOCs. You have already gone through all the steps of making the mistakes. We don't want, well, we're making thousands of our own. But in any case, we want to learn from you, and that is kind of, as I presented there to you, what we've decided to do. We're very proud to announce, won the Commonwealth of Learning for one of the courses, which was regarded as one of the best online courses that were developed last year. So we're really talking about kind of nice stuff here. We do not do that many talking heads like Coursera. We think it's terrible, you know. Students are much more interactive. They can even take videos of themselves and post videos there and look at themselves, but not so much of listening to a lecture. We have that as well. You know, you can't quite avoid, and if you teach mathematics, you really, really need that. We have teaching assistants, and this is what our institution has gained, what I have up there. You know, it's amazing. We have started by just developing 6 online courses. For each of the faculties in our institution, we developed one. The idea was that this should be some kind of sowing a seed that will grow, and it has achieved that. You know, it's really hard to get faculty to change their mind. They've been teaching a course for 20 years, and it has been working for 20 years. Why change, you know, something like that? You all know the scene. But amazingly enough, you know, I've sketched the context and I've told you all the terrible things. We were quite surprised to see how well our students have taken to it. These are the various courses. I'll tell you about the nice colorful bands that I have there a little bit later. It's just the CHS, the College of Human Sciences, Science, Engineering and Technology, like that. What we've decided is, seeing that each college has to choose one course that will serve as a pilot, they must also choose a topic that will have a massive impact on our country. And that is why we have all these nice titles, you know, social dimensions of justice, because we have a lot of that. People burning tires in the street. What does the Constitution actually say about that? You know, and sustainability and greed, as I'm sure many of you are aware, there's quite a lot of corruption going on in government. How sustainable is greed, you know? And we thought that we'll have an ethics course about that. Literally, thousands of students have signed up. Oh, what I have there, and this slide is a bit out of place, is I'm just showing, and this was for our management, that our teaching assistants get 4 groups of 50 students. So each teaching assistant has 200 students. And we monitor their grading very efficiently. You know, your learning management system has a lot of very good back data. So we print out at the end of every week whatever they have assigned marks for using rubrics. We just compare, and then the lecturer would go into those that have received very high marks and those that have received very low marks, and just look at those to make sure, because what we have found with the teaching assistants is that they tend to be strict. They want their job, you know. There's a lot of joblessness in South Africa. If you end up with a job as a teaching assistant, you want to do it as good as possible. But then they mark too strict or too lenient, so we could try and get that out. That may look scary to you, the dropout. You know, as you can see there, we had for that one course, the AFL course, 4,800 students. The biggest course was the EUP course with 17,000 students that signed up. These are undergraduate courses. You can kind of call them MOOCs, massive online courses, not open online courses, because only university students who actually pay the registration fee can go for the courses. But we've had a total of more or less 32,000 students. We launched the project the first semester of 2013, so we are into our 3rd semester now of teaching the courses. And what I am trying to show there is that the dropout has diminished substantially. And we have actually done a survey, calling students, sending out surveys, and say, tell us why you've dropped out. And many of them said, we have not dropped out, we've just decided to move our registration from the one semester to the other because we realize we need a computer or we need more skills than we have at the moment. So this took everybody by surprise. We actually thought we will have a 60% dropout, you know, kind of something like that. And I'm not saying that there aren't many complaints. However, it has really gone much better. What I had to do, am I done?
We have 5 minutes left with your reviews.
Okay.
You said everything is going better. Maybe that's
I just have stood it out. We've put up telecenters where students can go to make sure that even if they don't have computers, they've worked. We have, many more computers. The UNISA DigiBands, they are an online-offline platform, software on those wristbands that students can use offline and then just go at intervals to the internet. At the moment, we are also developing an application, an offline application where students can work offline on the courses. This is hugely popular. Okay, I'm not going to go into that. We are going into MOOC development, and that we will do with Donna. Okay, and then I'll give to Molponi, and you can talk to me a bit later. Thank you. Yeah. It's okay.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Thank you very much. I think we were going to tell you a lot. Herda has just spoken to you, but I know really that most of the information that we were supposed to share with you, we can't because of time. I'm actually standing in front of you presenting something different that is not academic, but coming from the professional side of the institution UNISA. And I am really happy because Herda has already laid the foundation, but what I'm bringing forward to you is what actually was indicated by the first speaker, Kevin, where he spoke about 80% of the students that actually have internet access, but I'm representing the 20% that doesn't have, the voiceless. Now, I'm having here the digital hub. This is a new thing in UNISA, and if you can see below it, we are saying that it's access for success. We are living in 2 worlds, whereby we've got deep rural students that doesn't have lights and water. The colleagues I was sitting with at the table, they were surprised to hear that. But then if we are talking about access, then we're talking about everybody getting access. And we have to ensure as UNISA that we do so. Here I'm just giving the background. The site that I'm operating in, it's whereby we call it regional service centers. It started in 2005, but then it was reviewed in 2010, and now ourselves we developed the last part whereby I'm saying we developed a project whereby we want to really enable our students to have access. The name of the project is called an Independent Learning Lab. Then we are saying that it's access for success. What is the aim of this project that we are doing? Remember that I said earlier on that we actually are representing those rural students that are unable to access computer, like the one that is in the suburbs and so on. So we are saying that the aim of the project that we are actually wanting to embark on is to actually provide an ICT-based teaching and learning tools, method and resources, and to enable our students in the far rurals to can be able to access the OERs. Then how do we implement the process? The Independent Learning Lab is actually going to form ties with what I have indicated here, the digital hubs. The plan is that we should expand to the rural areas, put the sort of container spaces whereby the students can go and access internet, and then we are intending to power this with the solar powers so that it can actually fit at the rural areas. Currently, we are experimenting with the 2 regions in UNISA, Gauteng and then Midlands and the Western Cape. Already we have started with what we called the support program software, namely Pearson's, and then it assists actually to summarize what other colleagues have been talking about, which is my maths lab, my stat lab, and my lecture essay. But when you come to this, you ask yourself a question: how does the professional admin do it? But we are in collaboration with the colleges. So like myself and Herda, who is an academic. So we are doing that. But looking back there on an overview of what is happening there, this, as I have already said, we hope that the digital hub is a place whereby when a student comes, is going to be able to access everything. So it's like they can register there online because they cannot register wherever they are. So they can register, but they can as well be able to be assisted in terms of the key literacies. The background here is that there is a problem also in reading and writing. I think the slide will remain so that you can be able to see what we are currently doing, but I would like to come to my conclusion by mentioning the fact that we are supported by our government with the new documents which are in place. But my recommendation is that we are here because we want to collaborate with higher institutions for a global citizenship, and this will assist us to implement a global education. And then at the end, we are really seeking for collaborative engagement in the creation of high-quality, open educational resources services. Thank you.
Thank you so much.